Let's go.
Okay.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call me to order Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mayor Nathan Anderson.
Here.
Troy Boone.
Here.
Will Wolke.
Here.
Larry Rohr.
Here.
Art Schott.
Here.
Eli Seeley. Mike Peterman.
Here.
Agenda was sent out. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I did just one more addition there, just on a pay request. Number one, the site works at the bottom of the new business.
Motion to adopt the amended agenda.
Second.
Motion by Teeman and seconded to adopt the amended agenda, adding a new business pay request to site works. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all fair side?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Minutes for March 18th are sent out. Is there a motion to approve the March 18th, 2024 minutes?
Motion to adopt the March 18th, 2024 minutes.
Second.
Motion by Teeman, seconded to approve the March 18th, 2024 minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No business to be heard. No reports. Department head, Mr. Heidbrett.
Okay, so on the 15th of March, we met with Pete Beckner. He's the hatchery manager of the turkey plant out here. I and Keith were there. There were a couple of, one from Banner, there was somebody from Banner on the TV. And then Nathan and Eli were both there. We were wanting to discuss what their plans are. What we got back from Banner was they're giving them 2 years to get things in place, and I thought it was kind of a long time. It shouldn't take them that long to do that. So we were wanting to know where they were at with all of this. We were surprised to find out that they're already doing a bunch of planning, getting things going. One of them was they've already ordered a composite sensor that it'll pull a little bit every hour for 24 hours a day, and then that gives you an idea of what's going on. They've already got one in order that was supposed to have been in. That should have been there last week. And anyway, and they were already getting ahead on getting this other stuff going too. What we learned from them was when they started out, they were talking about 300,000 gallons a month. There's been 1 month where they were at 770,000 gallons, so they're more than doubled what they were planning on using, or what they told us originally. That puts them at 97% of capacity is what they're at right. It's where they're at with now, with their building. And he said that within 5 to 10 years, they plan to expand by another 20%. That'll put them at almost 1 million gallons a month. And I don't know, that was kind of a surprise to me, but apparently they're doing really well. The company's really happy with them, and they just, do whatever they need to do to come in compliance. Let's see. Some of the chemicals that they're using, it's called quat ammonia, quaternary ammonia, and what that does in our lagoon systems is kill the good bugs. So we encourage them to get a hold of their chemical dealer to see if they can neutralize that before it comes to us. They've got stuff for that. They're planning on doing that. Is there anything I'm leaving out, Nathan?
I think they were going to try to reduce some of their water, right? They also talked about buying a storage. They talked about a storage tank, perhaps,
For
for their wastewater.
Yeah, well, that was another thing too. So they're hatching 4 days a week. And on the days that they hatch, they're used 10 times the amount of water on the days that they don't. So one of the other things was to take that 4 days and kind of have a detention time and spread it out over 7. That'll get them, Danner also gave them a limit to what they could discharge. That would get them into that, because they're pushing that limit now. So if they spread that over 7 days, they'll be in that they can do that limit, and it would make it easier for us to handle water too. So instead of getting big slugs of.
I think would help with the pre-treatment as well.
Yes.
The longer that they can hold, treat,
Yeah.
let the treatment do its thing before it starts to enter our system, I think time would be a benefit to us.
Detention time. I was really surprised coming out of there that they were so on the ball and already had full of the horns and we're getting some of the stuff done. So
Had they been anticipating this meeting?
I called him up the week before and asked him if he could meet with us, when it would work, and he was more than happy to meet with us. Wasn't like I didn't think they were trying to hide anything. I was pleased with the meeting.
I think he had some experience coming from an industry in Sioux City where they had also had to use some of these processes. So
Yeah.
I think the manager, Pete, seemed to be pretty well versed
Yeah.
what was going on. I think he inherited a lot of this, and he seemed pretty proactive and seemed to have support of their headquarters in Canada to help fund some infrastructure improvements that would.
Now, he said they had this one running at 97%, that's 40 million eggs a year they're hatching. I think he's doing a good enough job that they're well pleased with him enough to keep things rolling.
What's the impact of going to 1 million gallons a day on our sewer system when we also got that block development going on and whatever other increases to the sewer in the next couple of years? I mean, how we set to handle all that?
You mean what they planned for us and how long it would last, you mean?
Well, do we have adequate sewer treatment?
Yeah, we should. We should have enough. We should start now. We should. It might have. They designed that thing for 40 years. It might shorten that up a little bit. But then all it would be adding some more cells to that Sager system.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's per month. Well,
Oh, per month. I thought you said per day. Okay.
Yeah, per month, 90 gallons per month. 20% at 750,000 is like 150,000 gallons. And then they want to put a wash bay in. I don't think that's going to use 50,000 gallons a month. I can't see that. But
do we have something in place to monitor their use so we're not like, oh crap, you're using that much, we weren't aware?
What we can do is we can go out there and it's like a decoder that'll hook up to the water meter, and then that'll tell us what they use every day, and we can get that down to the minute too if you need to. But there's no way to measure the outflow. But they don't use any water outside, and I don't know where else any more water would be coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what they take in. There's probably a little bit more that's coming out.
Do you think there's any repercussions further down the line on this chemical use, and do you have any leverage to help them change?
Well, the leverage that we were using was getting the Department of Ag and Natural Resources down here to see what we're trying to deal with. And so what we're having a problem with basically is they're going to come with ammonia levels, and we can't get that ammonia level down to 1 And we don't have to comply with that yet, but what we're having a problem with now is, pH. Our pH is running a little high. And so we have to, like the last time Pete discharged it, we had to get authorization to, because we had to discharge, there wasn't anything else we couldn't hold anymore. To let us discharge, get an emergency discharge because our pH was a little high, so.
Our overall pH or pH from the hot turkey?
Well, it's gonna be the overall pH, but it's gone from the turkey plant. You know, the chemicals that they're dumping and,
They're the ones causing the higher pH.
yeah. Cause we've got data prior to them coming online, and we never, ever had a problem with pH before.
Will the Sager system take care of some of these issues?
He's supposed to. Yeah. They're better, huh?
But I mean, yeah, it's supposed to run all the time. We're not supposed to have to worry about discharges anymore. We'll send a
Right.
test, but we're not gonna have to discharge
And
like we do right now. Sometimes it's supposed to be twice a year, then we get, you know, with the infiltration things, it might be 3 or 4 or 5 times, sometimes twice a month. So with the system in place, we shouldn't have to deal with all of the issues that we've had in the past.
yeah,
And
when
that's what we're
the
gonna-
Sager system comes online, we'll switch to a continuous discharge. So we'll just be running all the time. And when we talk about getting into compliance, it's gonna be, the turkey plant will help us with that, with the neutralizing the quaternary, ammonia and some of the other stuff, you know, and if they can change it to a different soap or, if they need to do that, you know, it all depends on what their composite sampler will come back as. So they'll do this composite sampler, we explain that a little bit. You know, it's gonna take a little bit every hour, 24 hours. And when they have to send a sample in, it goes to Peer. So, when Peer gets a sample, we'll get a copy of that. So we know what's going on. So it's not like we're gonna be in the dark and wondering what's going on. We'll know what's coming in. Then, so, and it sounds like we should know what's coming in prior to that once they get it hooked up.
The Sager system uses bacteria too, right?
Yeah,
And will that ammonia kill our good bacteria in our Sager system?
well, it's probably working on it right now, but things are still functioning. So what we're wanting to do is neutralize that before we get it, plus their detention time. It should smooth things out for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have checks in place to make sure that's happening.
Yeah, we'll know, because we'll have a pilot sampler going in, and that'll be collecting their stuff and everything from town too. So
Okay.
that's what we'll be doing with our sampler. That's where we'll take our tests from now on instead of at discharge time.
Okay.
You talked about this, basically like a magic decoder ring that you put on the water,
The what?
whatever the decoder thing was.
That composite sampler?
No, that thing where we could monitor
Oh, yeah, it's,
to
yeah,
the minute
To
what
the-
we're doing.
on the
Does
water.
that cost us a lot of money?
No, actually, Core and Main will come down and do it, and, we're not getting charged for that.
I didn't know if that's something maybe we could offer them and say, we can put this on so we can help you guys monitor how much water you're using and when you're using it. And maybe they can give them ways to cut back on use. I mean, I don't know, it might work.
I think the only way we can read it is we're taking our,
Right.
that Keith carries around, it picks up all the meters, and then we've got another box that connects in between those
Yeah.
two. I don't know if there's anything that's gonna,
Is that something though that you could do and then take whatever you get to them and say, this is when you're using your most water?
yeah, and we've done that already. Yeah, that was part of that when we met with them.
Okay.
So, and he knows that, so.
Okay.
Was there discussion, I can't remember, about, do we have to amend our agreement for their discharge? because they're exceeding it right now, right?
For so much water that they're using now.
Because that was part of the thing, right? Their daily or monthly discharge is causing us to exceed our permit, right? Or their permit or something.
Yeah.
Correct me where I'm wrong here. So they have to do this. They have to slow down their discharge, correct?
Well, basically what that, taking that 4 days that they're hatching and holding on to that, being able to catch that water and then just break it down, split it up to 7 days. And instead of dumping on high flows on 4 days, that average it outward 7. I don't remember anything about having to change anything, but
I mean, they're exceeding the permit right now.
yeah.
So they can't just continuously exceed.
So they don't have to comply with anything until December of 25. So they know what their permit says right now, but they don't have to comply to anything until December 25.
So really, this was more of an informational thing.
Yeah.
I think letting the council know that you and Keith are working with them, and they've agreed to a certain set of fixes, essentially. One being possibly creating a holding tank. 2 being treating, if they can't change the chemical, to try to neutralize the cleaning agent that they're using within the facility, because what they're doing is they're cleaning the turkey hatching areas to disinfect it. So I think the takeaway from this is you all are watching, and I think everybody here needs to continue to watch them and make sure that they continue to progress towards reducing their daily discharge and then treating what they're discharging so that it doesn't impact our lagoons in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to have something new in place with them before that date, December 2025?
That holds their toes to the fire, you mean?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not quite sure about that. I'll first should be looking into that maybe and dot your I's and T's before something happens.
Okay.
But if they're planning on doing a 20% expansion, I'm sure that they're figuring out what they need to do with this banner permit ahead of time too. So
I think Pete also talked about they're gonna explore some easy preventative maintenance as well, such as trying to control the flow of the hoses, because they're probably not being as efficient as they could be when they're cleaning everything out. They're just, if the hose will pump out 40 gallons a minute, they're pumping out 40 gallons a minute, but they might be able to do it if they can put down to 10 gallons a minute or something.
Yeah.
So there's a series of things that they're going to look into. I think the big thing would be just awareness that
best practices.
Can you give us like an update every few months
Good, yeah.
as to where they're at?
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Do we need to do anything with this letter, or is it just FYI?
Just FYI, but we'll just share that with you, being both the mayor and the mayor-elect's name will be on it. So.
Okay. Do we need to approve myself?
I don't think so. It's just information type stuff. So.
I think Krista from Banner's, what she's got yours and Eli's name on there is signing it. So there was some meat to that.
Okay, documenting what happened.
Right. Yeah.
If we don't have to vote, that's fine, but if nobody's opposed to myself and Eli signing this. I'm gonna do so. Anything else, Jeff?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
More questions?
Thank you.
No old business, new business, resolution 2024-08, internet speeds and prices.
Yep, this year, just want to propose making some adjustments to our internet packages for speeds and prices. You can see in that resolution. So what we would do is we would eliminate our 50 meg package we're gonna slide our 100 meg package down to that $65 range, 250 down to the 90, 500 to 115, and 1 gig to 140. And then the plan is we would leave everybody at the price point that they're at, so they're all gonna receive more bandwidth, except for our 1 gig customers. Those 1 gig customers, we don't have a package, or our equipment is not capable of going faster than 1 gig at this point in time. So they would receive a bit of a discount. Reason I want to do this, just want to give back to our customers, do a review of it. We should be able to do this with the plan that I've laid out, still meet our revenue requirements. So give back to those guys, hopefully a better experience. Also, Midco is our competitor in town right now. Their 100 meg package is $59, although it's not really a 100 meg package. It's 35 to 100 meg, like a pretty big, broad range there. And that's all determined by how close you are to the tower. So I want to get a little bit closer to those guys, so that way we've had some calls, hey, how come they're at this rate and you guys are at this rate? So, and then I feel like we could potentially grow revenue with this, getting those rates a little bit lower, entice some of the people. Maybe they do want a little bit more bandwidth, but they weren't willing to go up to that next price range. So hopefully they would entice them to go up to where they want to be. And then recently, within the last 2 weeks, the FCC has just came out and said what bandwidth was considered was 25.3, so 25 meg download, 3 meg upload. They have changed that, and now it is 100 meg download, 20 meg upload. So I'd like to at least have our minimum package that we're driving all of our customers set at that 100 meg speed package, so they're all receiving bandwidth, or what the FCC considers bandwidth. So do you want to disclose that we do have customers in a 10 meg, 20 meg, and 30 meg package? We are going to leave those guys where they're at. They're cheaper than our $65 package. We do not allow any new customers into that. I don't want to force them into paying higher rates. So hopefully those people will see that the 20 meg is $8 more to go from the 20 meg package to what the new now 100 meg package would be if you guys were to approve this. So hopefully they can see that value and pay an extra $8 and move up to that 100 meg package. So yeah, that's what I would like to do. So.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion, resolution 2024-08, internet speeds and prices that are listed, 100 meg at 65, 250 at 90, 500 at 115, and 1 gig at 140.
I'll second. Motion by Shot and seconded to consider resolution 2024-08, internet speeds and prices. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all fair side? Aye. Opposed? Approved. Change order 1. Good, Austin?
Yep, I'm good. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Change order 1, Beresford wastewater treatment facility improvements.
Okay, so, I'm here to explain some of this. Krista from Banners offered to come down here and explain it. I don't think it's gonna take that long, and I didn't want to pay her all that. What they're doing here, there are 2 of these manholes, and there's 4 Sager cells, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and these sit between the 2, so the water splits between these. And what they're doing is updating these 2 manholes to, I don't know if it's operating more efficiently, or changing out some of the stuff, because the cast iron pipe, CIP, if you read into that, cast iron pipe is expensive. So they're putting some C900, which is plastic, in there, and changing out some stainless steel bolts to that are blue coated bolt, because we don't have corrosive soils right there. Those stainless steel bolts, I think, are like $41 a piece, and the blue coated ones are cheaper. So I asked Krista to explain this to me in layman's terms, so for you guys and me. She said, had they designed these in the first place, this $10,500 change order would have been in the cost of it. So she said it's not that it's costing us $10,500 more. The stuff that they took out, they got credit for it. And then the stuff that they're putting in is 10.5. Because we haven't even started construction and we had a change order already. So she said that it was a water. Had they done this in the first place this way, this would have been 10.5. So, does anybody have any questions? We'll try to answer.
Yes.
I'll make a motion for change order number 1, Beresford wastewater treatment facility improvement, as Jeff stated, it would be a wash on the cost.
Boone second.
Motion by Scott, seconded by consider change order 1 for the wastewater treatment facility improvements. Any further discussion?
So we won't see 10, 15 years from now that these bolts are corroding, that they may be messed up, or?
We use these blue coated bolts all over town in our water mains and stuff. We'll use them stainless steel ones if it comes as a package with something. But them blue bolts have been fine.
And the plastic pipes can handle the pressures.
Yeah, there won't be hardly any pressure to it. And the plastic will be fine.
Okay.
Further discussion, all fair side?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Next item, step pay increase for Officer Colton Lawlock, 2582 to 2655.
Shall I make a motion to step the increase for police officer Culver Albach from 2582 to 2655 per hour.
Second.
Motion by Scott, second. So step pay increase for Officer Lawlock, 2582 to 2655 an hour. Any further discussion?
Effective on 4/19, is that right?
April 6th.
For discussion, all fair side?
Aye.
Opposed? Daily wage increase for Janine Lori, $15.75. Is what she's making right now. She's getting paid twice, right? Or not twice, but depending on how she
Yes,
punches
if
it.
she's in the event center, it's the minimum wage at $11.20. And then if she's doing the administrative assistant role, then it'd be Ben's recommendation of $16.50. And so she punches in for wherever she's working.
And this only affects the event center stuff, right? Still punch in at the other rate when she's working. Or no, the reverse. The reverse, that's what I just said.
Yep.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, you know what percentage hours she spends at which?
Very little at the event center. Majority is on the clubhouse side.
Does this limit her hours that she can work? Is she considered part-time yet?
Yes, yep.
And she's under that threshold before she has to be bumped full time? Okay.
Motion.
Boone makes a motion to accept the wage increase for Janine Lohr at administrative assistant at the Bridges Clubhouse and Event Center to $16.50.
Second.
Motion by Boone, seconded to increase wage to $16.50. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all fair side?
Aye.
Opposed? Approve part-time hire for the Bridges Clubhouse. This is Sabrina Sweet at the minimum wage paid of $11.20. So motion to approve.
Boone makes a motion to approve part-time hire at Clubhouse Spring Suite.
Second.
Motion by Boone, seconded to approve part-time hire for Sabrina Sweet Clubhouse. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all fair side?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I think there's 2 part-time grounds maintenance. Larry Bowden coming back, $13.65 an hour, and Mike Wetstein, who I think worked last fall for a while.
For a short period of time,
Yeah.
yeah.
and $12.63 per hour. Is there a motion to consider?
Boone makes a motion to approve the part-time hires at the bridges, golf course grounds maintenance of Mike Wetstein and Larry Bowden.
Second.
Motion by Boone and seconded to consider 2 part-time hires for Bridges Golf Course for ground maintenance. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Pay request number 1. Site works, is that this one?
Yeah, it's for the Beresford wastewater treatment facility, Sager system, $86,024.50. And what that is that they're asking to get paid for all the materials that they currently have stored. They've already purchased them, so they want to get reimbursed for that. And that's normal that they would ask for some of those costs, as long as those things are dedicated. We got pictures of all the stuff that's sitting there waiting, and I didn't put it in there because it's about 30 pages of extra paper that you gotta have a look at, so. Banner's good to go with that, so we would recommend that you guys approve that so we can make that payment to them.
Shall I make a motion for site work for $86,024.50?
Boone second.
Motion by Shot and seconded to consider pay request number 1, site works, $86,24.50. Any further discussion?
And we already have access to the money for the program?
We're drawing it down.
Yeah, so Nathan signed it tonight. But
Okay.
I'll submit it tomorrow.
So we'll draw down from
Yep.
that, it's not coming out anywhere else. Okay,
It'll just be money going out, money coming in.
sounds good.
No further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item 46. Jeff?
What's that?
I just provided the information that, some notes from the meeting that they held. I know Jeff was able to go, and I know Aaron was able to go to the next one, so. Anything that we should be concerned about?
They're gonna start, I think, 4 miles west, taking the asphalt off, working their way back to Beresford. I don't think they'll be back in Beresford until, late June. Anyway, they said they would keep the intersections passable and open. It might not be perfect, but, fire department can get through, ambulance can get through, people can get through. Once they get to the, this last mile here, there'll be signs they put up, sending people a mile north on the gravel, and then back to the landfill, so they can get up the landfill. People will still should be able to cross the intersection, if they come from the south.
Who's responsible for maintaining those gravel roads? Do they come in and do that, or is that something that, we maintain the one that goes by the Rebel site, so if there's a lot of traffic that way and it tears it up, do we have to fix all that, Jeff?
Nobody said anything about it,
Okay.
so.
I don't know if they have to take care of that and blading it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would assume that they would be in charge of that.
Yeah, for sending down our roads.
Yeah.
I imagine that's only for local traffic, probably.
Yeah.
They can't get around, because
Yeah,
otherwise they're on oil roads wherever they go. Asphalt.
April 3rd, I think is when the road's closed, so all these signs will be up, and so that'll be probably tomorrow.
How far into town are they coming?
What's that?
How far into town do they come?
Just to the corner here by Eastway.
Okay, no further.
Nope.
Okay.
We're gonna be okay for April for dumping in the dump, right?
Yeah,
Just have to go north a mile and then back east a mile. So just go north 177, then east, and back south. Will be the quickest way. There's no one lives on that particular road, so there's not a lot of people that. Will
be a good
that.
2 months before they get to that, though, probably.
Oh, well, we're only doing it for April, right? That's what we do.
I guess I'm assuming that they can, I'll have to check with them. I don't think they're gonna have a problem with us, until they get to that last mile.
So there's a lot of traffic out till Legends, I'm sure that's just the local traffic access.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you got anything there?
On the last page, if you want some text messages of the progress, you can sign up. he said he wasn't gonna do like daily updates, so I don't think your phone's gonna get flooded with a bunch of messages. It's mainly gonna be
Yeah.
just major
Yeah.
changes that you need to be aware of.
Was it weekly, were they weekly meetings they were gonna have out? And he said it wasn't, basically it wasn't for everybody just to show up. He said if you wanted to come out there, listen, we could.
Yeah.
But I don't know, until they get close to what's going on right beside us, I don't think it really matters to us what they got going on. Don't like
It was a
that.
good turnout at the library.
Yeah.
Did they figure out that like the ambulance and fire trucks, they can let them out there? Or?
They were, so they've got, phone numbers for, who's the chief of police there?
Oh.
Andrew was out for Bowden. They were gonna get him phone numbers, so if for some reason they had to go that way, there was a number they could call, to ask them, can we get there from here, and, is it open, or, so it sounded like they were gonna coordinate that way with us, with them. Foothills, the contractor, so Foothills was gonna get numbers for them and stuff, and they'd be able to coordinate that way. So they said that it would be open for the most part, intersection would be passable. They probably just wouldn't be great. But if there was something they needed to do to get somebody someplace to an ambulance or a fire truck, that they'd work with them, so.
Questions? Is this just for information, Tom, or is this?
Yes, I think that was sent last week at the request of every meeting of Jerry Lane. They're continuing to get flooded with calls here at City Hall with missed pickups. Actually, a citizen whose camper was damaged severely from their arms that grabbed a garbage can. The driver got their camper somehow. I'm not even sure how it was situated. They saw him on their ring camera, so they've been getting a hold of him for 3 or 4 days with no response back. The driver did go up to the door. They were out of town at the time of the appointment. They weren't trying to be difficult, but just said, we'd like some responses to what we're going to do about this. And I know today Elaine had pictures of the whole street that they could pick up. It's just been weekly, right?
Yeah.
Every week there's complaints in City Hall, so.
So they've had this since last week and no response yet?
No, this went out every Wednesday.
Right.
So it was available those. Got there Saturday, Friday, Monday, who knows? Whether we'll get a response in writing or not, I don't know.
Okay.
At least want to put them on notice that not satisfactory, their performance isn't, so.
Well, I think if they don't get to you in a timely fashion here, I think, you ought to just go ahead and dump them.
Start the process. And the hardest part is what we're gonna do in the interim. I think that's what everybody's fear is. Because we only have one bidder, so that makes it more difficult, but, hopefully we can get some response, but, want to be in a position to at least, say this isn't not coming as a surprise, but giving opportunities to rectify things that, hasn't happened, so. It's only gotten worse, because I think it's every week that people missed, isn't that, Kathy and Elaine? You get calls every week, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or every Monday and Thursday, at least residential weeks.
Tuesdays and Fridays. Yeah.
Oh, on Tuesday and Friday, okay.
Yeah.
So.
What's a dump truck cost you?
There's
Say, you don't need the garbage business. I don't know if you want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start looking at prices. Just for the interim.
Carol's
Very good.
trouble with that.
a lot of towns just are out of it, you just license, their only regulation on garbage collection is bring in 2 or 3 licensed haulers, and they directly contract with citizens. Difficult part is then you can have garbage trucks coming every day of the week. Difficult, it'll be like Canton, Lennox, Hartford, they're all that way. How do you compel somebody to pick up the service? A citizen? Yeah. Well, I guess they won't have to, but I don't know how they're gonna get their garbage collected. Well, that's my point. Yeah. Because that's when you get folks who choose not to, and then the backyards turn into that's an issue. Because they can't take it to the rubble site. What's that?
They will try.
Well, they'll probably try now. Anyway, that's more for informational and hopefully, I don't know, their equipment's questionable at times, I think. And, did you guys have to clean up the hydraulics too?
Yeah.
In the driveway? In someone's driveway or someone's
on the street, in the driveway. I didn't actually see it, but it sounded like it was quite a mess.
I guess could we put this on the agenda next meeting and see if there's any. Okay. See what kind of response, if any, you get, right? Yep. Okay. Please. No travel requests, is there a motion to approve payment of the bills?
Boom, most bill.
Second. Motion by Bill and second to authorize payment of the bills. All fair say aye.
Right.
Opposed? No further business for the council meeting adjourned. Is that your last one? You're gonna be done, Steve?
No.
Oh, yeah, okay. I said one more time.
Well, the last one I'm done, May 6th.
Well, you don't, do they approve those? The new council?